Hi, I'm Eva Murphy from Electronic Engineering at IT Sligo, and this is my Leaving Cert Maths Grinds channel. I'll regularly add new videos for both higher and ordinary level maths, so make sure you subscribe below and click the bell icon to be notified of new videos. Okay, let's have a look at solving some cubic equations. So the first thing you should know about cubic equations is that it's going to have three solutions. Okay, an equation always has the highest power of x, that number of solutions. So because you've an x cubed here, you will have three solutions for x. Okay, they've given you one of the solutions. They don't do that in every question. I know that because they've said show that f of 1 is 0, which means that x being equal to 1 satisfies that equation. Okay, so in other words, my equation over here was f of x. Okay, so when they say f of 1 is 0, I can see that x equal to 1 is a solution. So how do I show that f of 1 equals 0 or that it satisfies that equation? Well, you sub them in. So you have f of 1 being equal to 1 cubed minus 17 times 1 squared plus 80 times 1 minus 64. Okay, so you pop onto your calculator and you should see that that is equal to 0. Okay, so you have to be careful that you did show that because that was specifically asked for, so there was marks for that. And then you need to find another value of x for which f of x is 0. Okay, you can do this with long division or with equating the coefficients. I would say if x is equal to 1 is a solution or a root, I could call it a root, then x minus 1 is a factor. Okay, so in other words, I brought that 1 over the other side and that's where I got my x is equal to 1. I'm kind of going backwards if you imagine a quadratic. Okay, there's your roots, which is what we have here. You form your factors, and then by multiplying factors, you'll get your original equation. But it's always the factor that you long divide in to your equation. Like so. Okay, so long division. So I want to cancel my x cubes in my first step. I then want to cancel out the x squares, and then I'd like to cancel the x's and the numbers, okay? So to cancel the x cubes, you're asking yourself, what must I multiply by x to bring it up to x cubed? Or if you divide x into x cubed, what do you get? Well, either way, you'll get x squared, okay? And then what you do is you multiply x squared by the x and by the number. They are the steps. So it's only the x you use when you figure out what goes on top. But when you figure out what goes on top, you must multiply it by everything on the outside. Okay, so x squared by x gives me my x cubed. X squared by minus 1 gives me minus 1x squared. Okay, put a line under it. You're looking for the remainder, so you subtract or you change the sign is another way of looking at it, and your x cubes cancel. And you know you're right when they cancel. And then you just add as normal. So I have minus 17 plus 1 is minus 16x squared. I take down the 80x, I take down the 64, and I proceed. Okay, and it's like you're starting all over again. You do the same thing all over again. Okay, so I don't need those arrows now. I'm done multiplying. So what must I multiply it by x to bring it up to minus 16x squared? Okay, because I will change the sign and then I want to cancel that. So I definitely need a minus on the top. I definitely need a 16 and I need another x. One of the x's is here, so I just need one x on the top to bring it up to x squared. Okay, and just like before now, you multiply that by what's on the outside. So minus 16x by x is minus 16x squared. Minus 16 by minus 1, well, minus by minus is a plus. 16 ones are 16x. Put a line under it, change the sign, change the sign. So minus 16x squared plus 16x squared cancels, lovely. Plus 80 minus 16 is, what's that, 64x. Okay, and we take down the minus 64. And you do it all over again. Okay, so it's the exact same thing again. What must I multiply by that x to bring it up to 64x? Okay, well, it's going to be a plus this time. I definitely need a 64. I don't need an x because 64 by x will give me that 64x. Okay, and then just like before, you multiply that by the 2 bits on the outside. So 64 by x is 64x. 64 by minus 1 is minus 64. Change the sign, and you get a remainder of 0. Okay, so I know that my other two roots are within x squared minus 16x plus 64. Okay, because you can see that's a quadratic, so that's going to give you 2 more factors, which I'll solve to give me roots, and there's my third factor, which will give me my third root. Okay, so let's do this one. So bracket, 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 split the x squared into here and here. So we have x and x. The factors of plus 64 that give you 16. Well, 8 and 8 is 6. 8 and 8 is 16, yeah. And then which one of those two options is the right? Well, minus 8 by minus 8 plus minus 8 gives me minus 16. Okay, so they're equal to 0. So x minus 8 is equal to 0, x is equal to 8, and of course this one is going to be the same. Okay, so my solutions to these are x is equal to 1. X is equal to 1, x is equal to 8, and x is equal to 8 if you want. But this is your answer. They wanted another value of x for which f of x equals 0. So x is equal to 8. If you've enjoyed this video, then why not join us in IT Sligo and use maths in practice. In conjunction with industry, we've designed an exciting new program in electronics and self-driving technologies, which uses cutting-edge techniques such as artificial intelligence, computer vision, and virtual and augmented reality. You'll need a H5 in maths to qualify. Check out the link below.